So my brother is a whore. And I say that with love. He has a lot of sex with a lot of women a lot of the time. He's probably having sex right now. So we went down to see my sister in DC last week. And when I say that, I mean I went to see her. He went down there to see some hoes and just was like, oh, I'll take a ride. So we went down there and we took like the bus, the Chinese bus, the Chinaman $20 for like 20 hours bus. So we get down there, we get to the bus depot, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna run to the bathroom, watch my bag. And my brother was like, yeah, I got you. Now, my mom thinks that when people aren't in her house, they're not eating properly. Like any good mother, right? She just assumes no one's food is real food compared to hers. So she sent us down to DC with like a little carry-on just full of food for my sister. Like rice and pasta and chicken and like collard greens. Just a crap ton of food. So I had it in my carry-on. I was like, yo, let me go pee. I told my brother to wash my bag. He was like, I got you. And then I went to the bathroom. Come back out like 5-10 minutes later and he's nowhere to be found. Just nowhere to be found. But there's like a crowd of people forming and there's like a cop putting up crime scene tape. And whenever I see somebody put up that like yellow tape, I'm like, ooh, what happened? Did somebody get raped? I obviously watch too much Law and Order. I'm like, oh, somebody got raped or stabbed or there's like child pornography on the premises. Pornography on the premises. And the cop was like, no, ma'am. There's a bomb threat or a bomb scare. We need to clear the area. And I'm like, ooh, well, let me get out of here. Let me go get my bag so I can get out of here. Even though I knew I wasn't going anywhere. Like, it's my goal in life to be like a sassy black eyewitness. Like, ain't nobody got time for that. Or hide your kids, hide your wife. Or, you know, I used to eat ribs with this dude. It's my goal in life to be one of those, like super ignorant caricatures of, like, black people on the news. That's what I want to be when I grow up. Shh, don't judge. So I was like, let me go get my bag, and then I'll leave. And the cop was like, you can't pass this point right here. And I was like, woo, but my bag is over there. And he was like, but the bomb's over there. And I was like, damn. So I'm looking for my brother, and, like, I'm like, well, what the hell? What is this bomb that they're talking about? And I looked. The only thing that I could see was my suitcase. They thought there was a bomb in my suitcase because somebody left it unattended. So I'm like, well, should I tell them that that's my bag? And then I was like, I'm supposed to be going to, like, Europe next month, and I don't want to be put on, like, a terrorist no-fly list. That's really going to F up my vacation. My tickets are non-refundable. Also, if they send me to, like, jail or, like, whatever for being a terrorist, this is not, you know, Guantanamo Bay physique. And I'm not ready to be waterboarded. One, I can't swim. And two, this hair is not a wet and wavy. This is not, like, this can't get wet, you know? I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready for that, like, you know, Saddam Hussein, Bin Laden lifestyle. I'm not ready for it. So I just was like, let's see how this plays out. So they call the dog team, and the canine comes and is like smelling the bag, and it was like the world's slowest bomb sniffing dog, because he like smelled his butt, and then he smelled the bag, and then a butterfly flew by, and then he smelled the bag. And of course there's no bomb in the bag, but there's food in it, so the dog's like, something good is in here. So they, you know, they ship the dog out, and the cops are like, they're sending like a little robot in, and they have like these, it was it was a production. And I just wanted to be like, seriously? Like, that's not necessary. How much of this is coming out of my taxes? Even though I don't work on the books. But I was like, what is this? So then the cop comes and he like kicks the bag over. Like, he like just kicked it. And I was like, seriously, son? Like, if there was a bomb in there, you think kicking it would make us any safer? Anyway, he kicks it down, and they come and they unzip it, and they're like looking in it because they're nosy, and it doesn't look good. Of course it doesn't look good. My mom packed like all this food in Tupperware that she taped up and then put in a plastic bag, and then she taped up the bag. So it looks like a suitcase full of drugs. And I'm just like, I don't know who bag that is. It was my bag. They opened all the bags. They opened all the containers, and of course it's just food. And the cop's like smelling it and putting his nose in, just. And I'm like, I don't want that anymore. I don't know about you, but I hate when people smell my food. And Sush does it all the time. He'll just come and be like, oh, that smells good. And I'm like, nope, don't want it anymore. Not interested. Not even that hungry. Don't put your nose hairs on my food that's going in my mouth. Anyway, at the end of the day, the cops were like, well, whose bag is this? And my brother comes up out of nowhere, and he's like, why don't you tell them that's your bag? And I'm like, why don't you tell them that's your bag? And he was like, yeah, I get that. He's like, I'll wait. So we waited, and then when they realized there was nothing in it, we were like, just real quiet, just, that's mine. And they were tight. They were like, if you had told us this was your bag, we wouldn't have gone through all of this. And I was like, you had an attitude, and I don't want to be around you when you get like that. You know how you get, sir. Anyway, apparently there's a bomb threat in DC like every day. So mine was for that day. I'm like, y'all just too paranoid. And then somebody did leave like a little mini like duffel bag under one of the seats, and everyone was like, oh. And I was like, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. Anyway, that's it. That's my terrorist story. The moral of the video is, if you are thinking about going into terrorism or leaving a bag unattended, make sure you get in the gym, get in shape, get it right, get it tight, so that, when they send you to Guantanamo Bay, you'll be ready physically. I'm not ready. Also, get like a good weave get like a good terrorist weave, You're welcome.